I get it now. The rain blocks out everyone else's music that I heard, and that stuck in your head, and it blocks out whatever problems I had that I was solving, and it blocks out all of my problem solving, period. And it blocks out everything, and all I can hear is the rain, the wind, and this. Womp womp, womp womp, womp womp, womp womp, womp womp, womp womp. Dana 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 dana, dana 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 dana, dana dana dana, womp womp. And that's at the same time. Womp womp, womp womp, dana 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 dana, dana dana. That's orchestra music. I don't know what that womp womp thing is, but I like it. And it's always been there. It's always been there. It's for snoozing. That's not my song. That's the creator's song. It's in my head because it's not finished and it's not done correctly. I just had to get it out. So, because before I died, and I went to sleep one night and woke up with that song from the Titanic, long before the Titanic movie. Once more, you open the door. I woke up with that in my head. The melody, not the words. That beautiful melody. Okay? And I paid it no mind. You know what happens? When you have a melody in your head that you never heard before, and you don't record it with your mouth or some kind of way, God will give it to someone else. And that's what happened. It took 10 years. And then the Titanic movie came out, and I heard it, and I cried. Because I was already told that from an elder. My mom was one of them. I was already told, because this is a gift. It's not necessarily really for pumping yourself up. The gift of song, singing, and hearing people, having people listen to the message. It needs to be an important message. Otherwise, if you have the power in your voice and you're speaking the wrong words, you're definitely encouraging a lot of people to do the wrong things. Even my kids, when they were younger, they were so quick to say, I'm not encouraged by no music. That ain't real. It's seeping in. It's seeping in, especially when there's nasty songs like I put my on her head and all that kind of stuff. And, okay, I'm not going that deep right now. Now, so I just did that melody. And somebody in my family said to me today, one of my kids, you shouldn't do that. Somebody gonna steal it. First of all, there are copyrights. The moment I went, womp, 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 da-da-da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, which goes on at the same time. Orchestra. Okay, so the moment I did that, it's already copywritten. See, I love my kids. They're smart, but they ain't looking at no copyright videos to know the law, to tell me nothing. There's a whole bunch of people they're not looking at the law videos to know before you gonna tell me who gonna steal what. Like, while I was on the phone earlier, just as I was going to sleep, I had to go to sleep, but I had to get that out, even though I'm talking at the same time. Is womp 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 womp. My voice is like, I'm going to sleep, lady. I don't care. My voice goes to sleep before me. So, as I actually picked up the phone to just record that, but at the same time, the creator takes over. And as you can see from a lot of my photos, and you will see lately in the last few months, you can see probably always been going on, and maybe I wasn't even always paying attention. You can see the light from the sky. Some people, they look at my photo and they just say, oh, it's just the sun. That's so funny to me. It's so simple, human, like they're not looking beyond their eyes. They're just looking with their eyes. That's it. They're not looking with their spirit. Like everybody been to church and learned about the Holy Spirit. I don't care if you ain't in church every day, every week. You're supposed to hold on. That Holy Spirit is not supposed to leave you. It's supposed to be with you everywhere you go. And you're supposed to be seeing with your spirit, not your eyes all the time. My God, you got to see past your eyes. So anyhow, I don't have time to force anybody. And I can't, Anyhow, I'm not supposed to say that either. Because this is my job to show it. But it just makes me feel kind of like I'm wasting my time every time I show somebody a photo. God making me take these pictures. Otherwise, my stomach hurts if I don't do it. I mean, bad. Like the day I fell from the clouds to the cement. Like, you will do it. And I fully accept that. Womp, 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 womp. I love that. I don't know what that instrument is. If somebody knows what it is, please let me know. But it is definitely orchestra, because I looked up the rest of the sounds in my head. They're all orchestra sounds, like that French horn. That's a French horn. I looked it up. I looked up every sound, every instrument. I took the time to look up 100 instrument sounds for the Creator God. And to make it easier on myself to know what am I doing? Okay, because you can hear on the song, that's not no orchestra sound. So out of everything I left behind, I do have my, pedal. My pedals, they were in my purse. They're in my purse, the pedal for my keyboard. What made me put those in my purse months before I left that apartment? I don't know. It had to be God. Only God could do that, because see, it's the pedals that make the sound like, not like I have it in snoozing. It's just like straight piano, and guitar. One of them is guitar, but it on the keyboard, not real guitar. But that's not what it's supposed to sound like. That's me. That part is just me doing, That's not what the Father wants. What the Father has in my head is orchestra, big, bold, and beautiful. Oh my goodness, that French horn. I looked them up, like in June, around before Christmas. I looked up every instrument, 100 instrument sounds. And then I couldn't find the sound, and then I looked up orchestra sounds, and that's where I found every sound in my head that the Father, the Creator of all things, wants me to use. And those are the sounds from the other side. So I told the relative, my son, today, I said, I'm not worried about nobody using my profile picture, because it was just an hour ago, he's like, this and that and the other face. I couldn't really hear what he said, cause, excuse me, I tried my phone too many times. I really need just a $40 phone, and I can't really hear that good on this phone. Even on speaker, you can't hear that much of nothing. So, I need another $40 phone, but that ain't what this is about. So my son, I kept saying I'm half asleep, and I really can't hear what you're saying. I'm already half asleep. I'm like, I couldn't keep my eyes open. The Father opened my eyes to get that melody out. A little bit, and that ain't all of it. It's a whole bunch. Oh God, I like it. I'm not complaining. God. And my son, I only hear him saying something about Facebook. And I'm like, what are you talking about, Facebook? I was telling you, I just watched the news, and it says something about a stimulus check. What's going on with that stimulus? Is it real? I said, it gotta be real. And I'm answering my own question. It gotta be real, because Google does not advertise fake news, not Google. That popped up on my Google that Trump approved stimulus. I definitely, I could really, really use it. I saw a house today in my price range for my widow's payment. The lady called me about 10 o'clock at night. She sure did. Tonight, on Sunday. And some people said to me, nobody's working at night. They're like, I'm tired of people calling me a liar. You might as well say, they'll say, I didn't say you're a liar. No, that's the same thing. Male, female, don't try to pick out who I'm talking about. Because there's a lot of people that have been doing it. And I find it to be very disrespectful. I do. Because you should look it up yourself first. And then you could run to me and say, that ain't what it is. If you take joy in telling me what's not. When people know that I have a traumatic brain injury from falling from the clouds, and they take advantage. I'm really tired of it. It might take me 15 minutes to catch up. That's it. That doesn't make me stupid. Hello. And what's wrong with? I don't want to get upset. I don't want to be tossing and turning. It's more than 5 people. I'm not going to be disrespected anymore, okay? I don't disrespect you, and I don't want to be disrespected and spoke to like I'm a fool, okay? And even if I do talk to you and ask you to explain something to me, everywhere I go, I do it. I do it at all professional offices. Can you explain this to me? I used to be the one explaining everything to everyone else. I used to be an advocate. That made me remember. I used to help people with their paperwork before I died. I was that girl doing that all my life, helping people with paperwork, going to offices with them, speaking up for them, being an advocate. I have forgot that I was that one. Didn't forget. That's not part of my life now. Once I died, that was her life. That's Lori D's life, not the Songbird Resurrected. So I had no reason to go back and think about those things until I've been going everywhere, and certain people who have no patience, who are mean and nasty, like people who don't work, who are close to me, that talk to me like trash. And I let them know that, I know about people in Boston that are head of everybody in Massachusetts. And that, you can lose your job. I'll make sure you get fired. And some people, just as I said, that I can feel from that, see, look how she's talking about firing people. But that person, whoever said it, whoever's feeling it, they're not hearing what I said. I'm tired of being disrespected and disregarded and stepped on. And I'm sick of people taking advantage of me. So if you take advantage of me, just remember that I always had a very great, great, great business mind before I died. And God, while I've been running around struggling, and it took me longer than it would have if I remembered everything that I knew before I died in 2015. Okay, see, when I came back, it was like starting over, but because it's like starting over from being a baby, because if you can't remember, it ain't got nothing to do with my age. People are in denial. I died. And that's when everything changed. That person's life is over. This is my life. I am the Songbird Resurrected. This is my life. I'm not back for that. Anyways, I like parts that I remember about my life as it was the business part. I was great at it. What? I was the one filling out. The only thing that made me remember is a couple of people that I ran into while I was doing business last week. They were very patient. They explained things to me slowly and calmly, not like I was an idiot, with respect, with full respect and compassion. Now that takes a special kind. Okay? Not the ones that say, okay, yep, yeah, but they're not listening, and they don't care about you, and they throw you Your files in the trash when you leave the office. Yes, I remember before getting people in trouble and finding files in the trash behind their desk. Yep. With their supervisor standing there with me. He got fired on the spot. That's who I was before I died. So all of that, even though I didn't remember all of that until now when I'm running around and trying to get help, and some people are mean up behind that desk. They should never be behind a desk where people's lives are involved. People's lives, life-changing resolutions, it shouldn't be handled by people who don't care about people. Yes, I call humans, and I'm not human, but I never said I don't care. Okay? So, anyhow, if you have melodies in your head for 1 second, get them out, record them now. It doesn't matter if you don't know how to play that instrument. You better bloop that up. You better get it out your mouth. Doesn't matter who's listening and what it sounds like, and if you sound like a fool or crazy to some people who are not musicians. Let's just start there. The only person it's going to sound crazy to is the person who doesn't sing and they don't play nothing. Remember that. And even the ones that play, they're not going to never say that sounds crazy when you're making beats with your mouth, because that's how it started in the first place. Hello? Oh, I got to get up early. Peace, love, and light, and respect.